tracks going off the road, so I was able to help her out.
Oh, I'm glad she's okay. I'll be in my office.
Okay.
The clothing you so kindly lent my wife, I returned them for her.
Hi, Bob.
Hi. I'll be in a minute.
I'm here to see John. Can I go in?
Oh, you better wait a minute. His doctor's with him now.
How's he doing?
Well, it's an uncomfortable surgery, and he's holding up our professional reputation for being difficult patients.
Oh. What about the cancer? Did they get it all?
I haven't seen the final report yet. I have to check on a patient. Will you tell John I'll be in to see him later?
Okay.
So, it could have been better, but it could have been a lot worse, John. It's a stage 2. The tumor extended through the muscular wall of the colon.
So you're telling me the cancer may have spread?
Yes, Bonnie's so gorgeous. Well, what do you expect? Look at her mom. Just when am I going to meet your husband? Must be a very handsome man to have fathered this baby. What, am I jumping to conclusions? No, Lisa said you were married.
Shannon, I tried to tell you on the bus coming back. In fact, I did tell you. Then I realized you were asleep. Bonnie is my daughter.
Turns. Brought to you today by Mr. Clean Bathroom. He cleans your bathroom to the shine.
Yes, you mean your husband isn't the father?
Shannon, Jessica, and I are married.
Oh, how can you be?
Lassie, you were gone for 3 years. I was consumed with grief, and Jessica helped me to recover my sanity. We were married a year ago last summer.
Oh, honey. Come over here, sit down. Look, I know maybe I should have told you myself, but I just thought that Duncan ought to be the one, and you need some brandy.
Here, I'll pour.
Lisa, perhaps I should slip out.
No, please stay. Please, I want to go with you. Just wait just a minute. Shannon, here, darling. We're going to be right downstairs in the restaurant if you need anything. Do you want me to take the baby?
No, she's fine.
Well, I bet you could use a brandy.
No, thanks.
All right, well, why don't we all sit down?
Bill, you're all living at the castle, then?
No, I lived there for a while after I gave up the warehouse, but now Jessica and I have a house near Tom and Margot's.
Oh, Tom and Margot. It'll be so good to see them again. How are they?
Well, they went through some tough times, but they're doing fine. They have a new son who's almost 3 years old now.
Oh, so much to catch up on. How old is Bonnie?
9 months.
Shannon, Duncan told me that you were ill while you were in Africa. Maybe we should get to the hospital and have you looked at.
I'm fine. Oh, this brandy. It's amazing. It's been a long time.
Shannon. I mean, the main thing is that you're alive. And my God, it's a miracle. So, we'll get this whole immigration situation worked out, and everything else.
I'm so sorry, Lassie. I know this isn't the homecoming you were expecting.
We might do a similar strategic review for the Central American area.
I'll let you know.
So did the garage check out Lily's car?
You don't need to worry about that. In fact, I find it curious that a supposedly healthy single man like yourself would rather moon over a drawing of a woman he can never have than be involved in a real relationship with a beautiful girl like Janice Maxwell.
I think maybe we better just get back to work on Kingsley Malta.
As long as you understand, I don't want you moving in on my wife every time I turn my back.
So you would have preferred that I left her stranded in the snow?
No. You could have driven her to Emma's. You didn't need to take her home with you and loan her your clothes.
We were closer to my place. She wanted to get somewhere fast so she could call you.
Well, conveniently for you, the phone lines were down.
What, are you suggesting that I had something to do with that?
No, I think you just got lucky.
Damian, these are the flowcharts you requested.
Yes, thanks. So, have you come across any discrepancies in Kingsley Malta's accounting procedures?
Only several unusually large petty cash expenditures that went unaccounted for.
Well, if you'd have spent any significant time in Rome, then you would know the way Europeans do business.
Damian, maybe you and I should sit down and go over these flowcharts because BRO could really use Holden.
Fine. But I'd also like the tonnage reports on Central America.
Call for them right now.
Why don't we let Holden get them? Since he's so interested in learning all the aspects of Kingsley Malta's business affair.
Sure. BRO can wait. Damian, I know you originally preferred not having Holden on the account, so you just say the word and I'll have him taken off of it.
No, I can live with it now. Why did you tell me Lily was coming back to work here?
I guess I owe you an apology. I suppose I was a little overeager, I'm sorry. But I never dreamed that Lily would turn us down, given the situation that Connor's in. I hope it didn't cause any problems for you.
Not at all. Not at all. But I'd like you to check with me before you make my wife another offer like that.
Of course.
I need to get to WOAK.
What about the tonnage reports?
Holden can fax them to me. See ya.
Bye.
Hi, Damian.
How are you?
How you doing?
Hal, if you're here for the BRO presentation, I have it right in front of me.
No, I'm on a break from company business. Actually, I want to talk to you about Linc's last days at Walsh Montgomery.
Hal, I'm so behind in my work as it is.
Well, I'll try to keep it brief. Unless, of course, there's some reason you'd rather not discuss it.
John, as you see, the pathology reports indicate that the lymph nodes are clear, which is great news. Now, I grant you, we would have been a lot happier if the tumor had confined itself to the colon wall, but frankly, it could have been a lot worse.
I suppose you're going to want to infuse me with chemicals, eh?
Well, should be considered.
Just considered?
Look, John, there are risks both ways, you know that. But you've got a strong constitution.
First you cut me up, and then you want to make me sick.
Oh, come on, John. What I want you to do is look over this material. Now, you know most of it, but nonetheless, it'll acquaint you with the protocol that I prefer. And maybe it will occupy you enough not to bother the nurses so much.
Are they complaining? I thought they enjoyed my company. Don't you?
Well, I love your company. Yeah. It's just that you're not my only patient. So behave yourself.
What other choice do I have?
Hello. Looks like a full house. Hi, dear.
Yeah,
Hey. Hi, Lil. Hello. Well, now, I should give you a piece of my mind. Not telling me about this. How are you feeling?
Oh, terrific. I feel just great. You seem pretty chipper yourself.
Well, I decided to take your advice.
Without a second opinion?
Ned and I announced our engagement. We're going to be married in May.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, good. Congratulations. Good for you. That's the way it should be. Good going.
Iva sends her love. And she says she's going to bring MJ by to see you.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone's concern. But I would trade it all in for a tall glass of water. And a juicy steak.
Ooh, well, that's a good sign. You have an appetite.
Well, I'm glad Lucinda's in Chicago with Kirk. If she caught wind of this so-called brother of yours, she'd be setting him up in an office and moving him into the pool house.
But Craig, how could he know all this stuff about my family if he's not the real thing? It's not fair of me to doubt him just because I don't feel a connection with him. I knew Lou was my sister, and I wasn't exactly throwing confetti after that family reunion.
I gather she and Neil were.
Yeah. Okay, Marty's a very nice guy. He's open, friendly. He's obviously got bad financial problems. He hasn't asked for anything.
Not yet. No self-respecting con man would. The idea is to wait for you to offer.
Okay. So let's give him a little more rope. I could offer him a job at the riverfront site.
That's good, that's good. If he accepts it, we know he's not adverse to working for a living. And if he turns it down, maybe he's after bigger benefits.
Here we are!
Oh, hey.
Get in touch with your wife?
Oh, yeah, and she went wild when I told her I found you. She can't wait to meet you.
Listen, Marty, I was thinking while you're on the phone. Since you know construction and everything, maybe I can arrange something for you here.
Well, that's generous of you, but I couldn't afford to move now. And I may get some more work in Flat Rock.
Well, you got time to talk about it over lunch. Thelma, could you show Mr. Dawson the executive dining room? Royce and I just got to finish up a couple things here.
Right. Wagon's home, Marty.
I'll be right in. Huh? You think he's holding out for moving expenses?
I'm not sure. But I got an idea how we can smoke him out.
I found it in a shop in Amalfi. Guess you could say I just couldn't resist it.
Hi. I was looking for Lily.
Did you ever see the drawing of Lily that Holden brought back from Amalfi?
Yes? Why?
Why didn't you tell me about it?
What would have been the point?
He might have helped me understand how obsessed he is with my wife.
You knew all about his obsession. We talked about it often enough. And I told you why Holden broke up with me. He said it was because he was still in love with Lily.
Too bad things didn't work out between you and Holden.
Yeah. Well, who knows? There's always tomorrow. And in the meantime, I'm trying to concentrate on my work here and forget about how I was shafted on Heart of the City.
You know how sorry I was about that. But maybe Kim is right about the amount of experience needed. Amy Ryder's doing a good job.
Only because I'm doing all of her research for her and I'm writing all of her questions. I brought the ratings up from the basement where Brent put them. And since Amy has been here, she hasn't moved them 1/10 of a share point.
They haven't dropped, though. They've been very consistent.
Patterns has been consistent, too. But are you aware of the demographics on that show? I looked at them because I heard there'd been rumblings from advertisers. The audience for Patterns is getting grayer by the minute. And that's not what WOAK's advertisers want to see. Don't get me wrong. I think Kim is great at what she does. But you have to admit that she picks softer topics and they have a softer sell. I know you're in a difficult position because she's part owner of the station, but maybe Pattern should have a Sunday morning slot. And you should create a younger show in its current time slot.
Linc's last few days here weren't pleasant, to say the least. We were all walking on eggshells for fear he'd find something to sue us for.
Were you ever aware of him taping conversations on his attorney's advice?
No. But that sleaze Fred Greer was sniffing around here the other day, trying to imply that he knew something, and pressuring Evan to throw some work his way. I couldn't believe that Evan was actually considering it. But I knew that he was anxious to protect Connor, not that he thought she was guilty. I think he was just trying to avoid any hassle.
Hey, Hal.
Hey, Holden.
How would you like to take the BRO ad campaign proposal with you?
Got it right there.
Sure, as long as I'm here. I'll show it to Lisa before Barbara gets back. Emily, thank you very much for your time.
It was very productive.
Sure.
I have the tonnage reports. Where's Damian?
Mr. Grimaldi went back to WOAK. Holden, don't feel like you have to chase material for him. That's what Archie's for.
Oh, no. Damian said he wants this from me, so that's the way he is gonna get it.
Boy.
I could ask Lisa to bring up some lunch if either of you's hungry.
No, I don't want anything. But if you're hungry, you go ahead.
No, I was thinking of the two of you.
Shannon, I can't imagine what this must be like for you.
I know. I'm trying to put myself in your place, too.
Duncan did everything he could to try to find you. I mean, every clue, every possible lead. But they went nowhere, and when he came back from Africa, he was devastated. I thought he would die from grief.
Jessica became the best friend I could have hoped to have.
But it was a long time before that friendship changed.
What made you so sure that I was dead?
Well, see, by the time we were married, you'd been gone for 2 years.
And it never occurred to you that something might have happened that was preventing me from getting back to you.
Lilith very definitely led me to believe that you had left this world.
That deranged creature, you believed her.
She was very convincing.
She knew I wasn't dead. She knew I'd gotten away. When she woke up in the morning, I wasn't there.
Perhaps her henchmen had just told her you were gone to save their own necks.
And all the time that I was waiting for me, brave pirate, to come and rescue me, you weren't even looking for me.
I would have given anything if I thought there was a chance that you were still alive.
Shannon, Duncan did everything possible. Don't blame him.
No. Let's blame Lilith, since she's the only wife that isn't here. Actually, I'm the only wife that's here. Duncan may be the father of your child, but he's my husband.
We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now, part 2 of As the World Turns.
Yeah, hey. Oh, nothing yet, all right. Stay on this, sis, will you? Let me know as soon as you can. All right, thanks, Mark. Okay, well, bye.
Well, I gotta tell you, that's the best meal I've had since the flood. The recent one, I mean, not Noah's.
Marty, listen, let's get back talking about this job. Are you sure that you couldn't consider it?
Royce, really, I think, in all fairness to Marty, it's a little early for him to make that kind of commitment.
Why?
Royce,
Look, Lucinda's out of town. We need her approval on this, and frankly, I think we should wait for the security check.
Security check?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be offensive, but you can understand how any con artist could just waltz in here, pretend to be a relative of Mr. Keller's and Mrs. Walsh's, and, I mean, he's an internationally known architect, she's a world-famous entrepreneur, but it's all right, we have a computer link that'll give us all the information.
Craig, come on, this is embarrassing.
Well, wait, no, I understand, it's okay. You can't be too careful. And I'm not looking for a job anyway. Last thing I want to do is sponge off a newfound brother.
No, but you wouldn't be. I could always use an experienced man on the job.
Well, I appreciate the offer, but like I said, we're waiting on the insurance money from the flood damage, and I couldn't afford to relocate my family now anyway.
Well, I could help you do that.
No, I couldn't accept that, no way.
Oh, really? It's not a problem. How much would you need?
Well, it's hard to say. I suppose 10,000 would do it, but I couldn't accept it. There's no way I could accept that money.
Don't be silly. I'll write you a check before you leave.
Royce, really, I think we should wait for payroll authorization.
Now, how are we supposed to get to know each other if he's in Flat Rock and I'm in Oakdale? No, my brother works for me.
I don't know what to say.
Say yes. And maybe you can give me a little advice here. I have found that the crew sometimes knows more than I do when it comes to the nitty-gritty. So, take a look here. See these heating ducts? See the span? Now, I was thinking, if we put the support right here, we could handle it with 200 by 12 I-beams. What do you think? You think that'll work?
Well, I think, like you said, with the right supports, sure, that ought to be fine.
Yeah, the only problem is, where do I get 200 by 12 I-beams?
Can't your regular supplier get them?
And anybody who's been in construction 5 minutes would know that there ain't no such thing.
Hey, come on, I'm just a hardcare. I don't know the fancy terms. It was our first meeting and all. I didn't want to disappoint you.
Well, you disappointed me, Marty, but not the way you think.
Well, what do you think? You don't think I'm an imposter, do you?
Marty, take a walk while you still can.
Royce, you have to know I'm telling you the truth. I knew you were my brother the minute I laid eyes on you. And if you want proof, I'll get it. I'll find my birth certificate or a doctor or someone who can prove it. And listen, if you want to give up on me, you can, but I'm not going to give up on
Marty,
you.
before I kick your butt back to wherever you came from, why don't you tell us how you knew we were looking for a twin? Huh? And how'd you know all that stuff about my family? Who told you?
I told you my mother told me.
Get the hell out of here.
You okay?
Yeah. $10,000. How did he know all that stuff about me?
Lucinda personally broadcasting it all over the state.
I pray to God that this is the last I hear of Lou's insane notion that I got a long-lost twin somewhere.
Did you ever try to explain to Holden how his behavior really makes you feel?
Of course, yes. I've tried.
Now listen, I've talked to him. But would you like me to have another talk with him?
I trust you. You think it's best?
Okay, I will. I'll do that. Okay?
Emma, do you recognize the man that's sitting behind you? Don't look.
Oh,
Just be careful.
okay.
Subtle. Oh, that's subtle. Oh.
No, I don't know him.
Well, it's funny because I saw him sitting outside of John's room earlier. Thought maybe
He's probably just visiting a friend or something like that.
Maybe.
He's kind of cute. Want to invite him over for some tea?
I can't stay for that. I'm sorry. But I'm gonna go. I've got a meeting back at ATWT.
Yeah, you better go.
Thank you. Thank you for lunch.
Oh, thank you for lunch. You treated me, remember?
I know, but you're so sweet. Thank you for the talk. It's gonna be okay.
I know
Everything is.
it will. It will.
You know, this looks pretty good, Pop. And apparently you get to keep all your hair.
I'm not worried about losing my hair. Being sick all the time, throwing up, you know. Losing my life, I worry about that. I don't care about my hair.
Well,
really bothers a lot of guys to lose their hair, you know. We had this guy, this patient in New Jersey. We used to wear like an ice cap on his head every time he went into chemo.
Did it help?
Yeah, sure. And the guy had a full head of hair when he died. Well, of course, you know, he was a lot older than you, and you're younger and stronger. And
well, write that on my chart.
Well, on that note, let's see if I can scrounge up a ride to the airport.
Now, listen. You know there is a job for you here in this hospital whenever you want it. We don't have many orderlies. We're only a couple hours shy of a pre-med degree.
Well, I had a lot of patients in New Jersey who would count on me, Pop. But, you know, anytime Lucy wants to give me a little ride in the jet, I'm here.
Well, go see about your ride, I guess.
Be right back.
You got a minute?
That's the funniest thing you've said to me all day.
I talked to Dr. Rose.
Yeah, well, I suppose I could wait, you know, see if this stuff shows up anywhere else.
Well, you could. That would be like waiting for the guillotine to fall, wouldn't it?
It's the second funniest thing you've said to me. I don't know. I don't like being sick. No, I don't feel like myself when I'm sick. I have patients who like to be sick. They love to be sick. It evidently relieves them of all kinds of responsibility.
I never cared much for it myself.
This stuff is going to make me sick. It may kill me.
The odds are against it, considering the state of your general health. If the cancer has spread.
Well, you wouldn't miss me that much, now would you?
No.
Come on. I mean, I wouldn't be showing up at all kinds of odd hours of the day and night to bother your wife with my problems. Oh, geez.
Time for some medication?
I think it is.
I'll send someone in.
Thank you.
Yeah, Greg, so, if you could get back to me as soon as possible, that would be great. Yeah, I'll be here for the rest of the afternoon. Thanks. Bye.
Bonnie fell asleep the minute I put her down.
Oh, you must be exhausted, too, just from the shock alone.
I think Shannon is more shocked. Imagine keeping yourself alive all that time with the thought of husband and home, and then to get here and find this. I'm sure she looks at us and thinks that she's the only one that suffered.
She still thinks of herself as your wife.
I know that's what she said. I think that was the brandy talking. She knows now that we're married, we have a child.
I think she was very coherent. And the fact is, one of us is going to have to give you up.
Shannon, now, aren't you going to eat any more?
I can't, Lisa. It was lovely, though.
Shannon, I must apologize. If I seem that I was staring at you a while ago, it was because I thought we'd met before. But then when we were downstairs, I realized it was someone else, someone named Aaron.
C'est moi? That's my real name, Aaron Casey. I gave it up when I renounced my wild youth.
What? I knew you. I knew your Uncle Earl.
My Earl? You knew my Earl?
Earl, you mean Earl Mitchell?
Yes, of course.
I never made the connection.
You made a carbonara for us at our villa on Lake Como, right after you saved Uncle Earl's life.
Saved his life?
Well, that's an exaggeration. I merely pulled him from the lake. Yeah.
After his speedboat blew up.
Blew up? What? What?
Well, I always thought that that accident was a little fishy, until I learned that he was working for Interpol.
I never knew that. We became good chums for a while after that, and then I lost touch with him about 7 or 8 years ago.
Well, that would be just about the time he and I got married.
Well, I'm sure that you and Lisa have a lot to talk about, so I will disappear. I look forward to seeing more of you.
But wait. When are we going to get together? We really must talk about this, about your saving Earl's life and the boat blowing up and all of that.
At the mosque ball, all right?
Yes.
So.
Yes. Well, wonders never cease.
Masked ball in Oakdale.
Well, yes, it's not really a ball. It's a benefit. Jessica is working very hard on it. It's a project of hers.
Well, that reminds me. I'm gonna have to find another attorney. How about Tom?
Darling, he's still the DA.
Well, he can make a recommendation.
Well, I'm sure that Jess would not mind helping you on the,
You know, Duncan's taking an awfully long time dropping her off.
Honey, are you sure he said that he would be right back?
Oh, hi, Shannon. Is Lisa in? But... You look remarkably well for a dead person.
I hope so, Holden. I just came from seeing Lily. Now, I know we've had this conversation before. But Lily's very upset. She's trying very hard to be friends with you, Holden. But that's it. What you had before is over. Why don't you just stop tormenting yourself? Why don't you just go forward with your life,
You don't
Holden?
understand. Lily belongs with me.
I do understand, and what I understand is that Lily is married to Damian. And she's trying to make it a happy marriage.
She's trying to make it happy, but it's not going to work because she knows that she belongs to me.
Holden, there's been a strain in this marriage, and I think that you're the person who's creating it.
Emma, I'm telling you, I love her very much. I know that she loves me, but she's not willing to admit that yet. I can give her everything that she needs, everything that she wants. And we will be together eventually, because we have to be.
And we ducked immigration, hopped on a bus, and headed home. Oh, don't you arrest me now. I forgot I'm talking to a cop.
Oh, no, I'm not on the force anymore. I'm working with Barbara now. That's some story. Hey, did Lisa tell you that Barbara and I have a new baby boy? He was born the same week we got remarried.
Oh, no, actually, I haven't begun to start catching up. I can't imagine what's taking Duncan so long.
Hey, I almost forgot the reason that I came. I picked these up at Walsh Montgomery. I wanted you to take a look at them before Barbara gets back. New York.
Yes, Lisa, something that Hal just said about their baby makes me think. When did Duncan and Jessica get married?
A year ago, August.
And Bonnie was born in
April.
September. Well, that explains it. I mean, I can understand why Duncan would want to have some female company when he thought I was gone to him forever. And Jessica is a very attractive woman. When she became pregnant, chivalrous soul that he is, the only honorable thing to do, I'm sure he thought, was to marry her.
That was immigration. And we just need to provide duplicates of documents proving Shannon's a U.S. citizen, and that'll all be squared away. And that's the easy part. I don't know what to say.
It's almost too much to comprehend.
I asked Greg to... Maybe that's him. Hello? Yeah, hi, Greg. Okay. That's what I thought. Thanks. Bye. Greg confirmed it. Because Shannon's alive. We are not legally married.
Yeah, well, Margot's teed off that we didn't hold the guy so she could nail him. Turns out your so-called twin brother has committed grand larceny and fraud under several aliases all over the Midwest. I'm just glad he didn't get away with it here.
Wow. Well, thanks for the help, Craig. I know you did it more for Lucinda than for me.
That's right, I did. But I'm sure we'll be talking, Royce. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Craig, guess who's here? It's Mr. Gray.
Mr. Gray? I've been looking for you. I got your messages. Did you? Mrs. Walsh is out of town, but I would like to know if you have any idea how a con artist can get enough information to try to pass himself off as Royce's twin brother.
No, but I can promise you he isn't legit because I found the real thing.
You're trying hard not to hit the bottle, but there's one thing that could drive you to drink, and Billy's about to find out what it is. It's Billy Lewis versus Roger Thorpe, next on Guiding Light.
Athletic apparel by Champion and Champion Jog Bra. Join us tomorrow.